Matt Hughes. This is a fight that you wanted for a long time. What is your feeling moving forward? I mean, we've seen guys in a title fight who come up short, move a division. That's kind of where you were headed. Are you going to look at a win over Matt Hughes as possibly something to catapult you in the welterweight division, or are you going to go back up to middleweight?
Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to go up and just have a couple of fights is because of the fact that everybody at welterweight was just tied up. You know, St. Pierre, I'm not going to fight him anytime really soon. You know, all the top guys were tied up, so I thought that, you know what, I was like, you know, what's going to give me some motivation to train hard and get in the gym, and I was like, man, I need to find a big fight. So we were asking for a number of fighters, and you know, in the 185-pound division, just because I wanted to, you know, have motivation to get in there and train and, you know, come back and have a good, exciting fight. So, you know, I think Chris Cleveland was one of the guys that we asked for, and Vanderlei Silva was the second guy. So, you know, I mean, nothing against those guys. They're good fighters, and, you know, I just thought it would be fun for the fans and give me some motivation to train. As for, you know, taking this fight with Matt Hughes, you know, this is a fight that should have happened a long time ago, I thought. So, you know, I'm not sure why. I've asked for it, you know, a number of times, and I'm not sure why he never accepted it. So, or it's never been offered to him. So, you know, here it is now. You know, Saturday night we get to, you know, settle the score and, you know, figure out, you know, where my place is going to be and where his place is going to be in the history of the UFC.
Were you finding it difficult at all to find motivation after losing the title? Is it tough to get back in? Because, I mean, that's such a clear goal when that's over. Were you finding it tough to be motivated?
No. You know, I'm always motivated to test myself as a fighter, as a person, and, you know, what a great test I have Saturday. You know, taking this fight on 19 days notice, and you know, I like to test myself, and you know, I'm one of those guys that will step up, and you know, I've said it a million times that I'll fight anybody, anytime, any place. So, you know, and I think that I've proven that, and I've proven it again by coming in here Saturday night and taking this fight on short notice. So, regardless of the training, I've been training, you know, for 4 or 5 months leading up to this fight, and you know, I've helped all the Strikeforce guys, you know, Cormier and you know, Kimo and Luke Rocco get ready for their fights. So I've been training. So you know, I don't feel that you know, I'm taking the fight on 19 days notice. So you know, because I've been in camp. So I'm ready to go. I'm in shape, and I'm looking forward to, you know, getting a big win.
My last question in regards to the weight class he'll be fighting in. I mean, we hear from like a guy like George who says he would want 4 to 6 months to put on the weight. Is your body more flexible? I mean, can you kind of go where the big fights are, depending on which?
Yeah, I walk around usually around like 193 to 197. So, you know, I'm pretty good. You know, I'm a little shorter for 185, but I think with the wrestling skills I have, I think it could be some good fun matchups for me there. So, you know.
Josh, given the extent of the eye injury you suffered against George St. Pierre, were there any unique difficulties sort of getting back on the horse in terms of striking when you would resume training?
No, not really. I, you know, went right back into training. You know, I saw a couple of eye doctors, and you know, they said everything's good, and yeah, just went right back in there and started grinding. So, you know, I've been injured before. I had a fusion in my neck, you know, in wrestling, and you know, I've never had any difficulties coming back from the injury.
You know, there were promotional opportunities for you at 170 over 85, but if you had to evaluate talent, in your judgment, which division is more stacked?
You know, it's hard to assume. You know, there's a lot of good guys at 185, and you know, as well as 170. You know, the reason why I wanted to go to 185 was just because there was nobody at 170 that really caught my eye and motivated me to fight. You know, to fight. So you know, everybody was tied up. So that's the only reason I was like, shoot, what am I going to do in November? Am I going to fight somebody who's not well known? You know, that just doesn't give me the motivation to go out there and train. You know, I've been fighting for the UFC since the Ultimate Fighter 1, so it's been quite a while. And you know, I want big fights. And you know, when I got the call for Matt Hughes, you know, I want big names. You know, big fights. So you know, I was like, shoot, Matt Hughes, yeah, I've been asking that fight for a long time. Let's do it.
And that's the origin of why you want the Hughes fight, is because of his name and his stature.
Yeah, well, you know, he's a tough opponent as well. It just isn't because he has a big name. You know, he's been around. You know, he's a former UFC champion at 170. So, you know, why not? You know, why not test myself with a guy that's been there and done that?
Josh, how many days did you say you had prepared for this fight?
Well, I got notice of the fight 19 days ago. So, well, from Saturday, 19 days. But I've been training, you know, I train with a lot of good guys at AKA, and, you know, there's a lot of good talent there, and it's a fight 3 days a week when you're in that gym. So, you know, when we spar Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm fighting 3 times a week. So, I'm well prepared for this fight, and, you know, I will never have any excuses after a fight. So, I'm going into this fight, you know, winning this fight, you know, in my mind. So, I prepared really well, and, you know, I think that, you know, Saturday night we're going to get to see a lot of good fights.
Well, like you said, you're much more tame this time around, so I didn't know if 19 days wasn't enough for you to lob some bombs or run your mouth a little more.
Yeah, you know, I'm not trying to disrespect Hughes. You know, he's been a good representative of the UFC and of this sport. So, you know, you know, in plus 19 days, you really can't stir up too much in 19 days. As much as I'd like to, just for the fun of it, but you know, Matt's a good guy, and we have a lot in common. So I think that you know, he's a well-respected fighter around the sport, and it's going to be a fun fight.